Welcome to Baseball Card Flipper Live. It is a Saturday evening. Welcome to the show. This is our first live stream, so this is on Baseball Card Flipper Live episode number 1. My name is Bob Griggs. I am called the Baseball Card Flipper on eBay. The name of my eBay store is GB eStore. As you see scrolling across the bottom of your screen, there's a link in the description part that will have a link directly to my eBay store, which is, a guy would say, about 75% baseball cards. Me and my brother also list other things. We go to online auctions locally and buy things, mainly Amazon returns, and we will resell them also. But a good portion lately that I'm selling on eBay are baseball cards. I have a few football and a few basketball, but basically baseball cards. You can also go to gbestore.com. That will redirect you right to my eBay store. So those are the ways that you can get to my eBay store. Whether you're looking for baseball cards to buy, or if you're like myself, you sell on eBay, selling baseball cards, we're happy to have both. Whichever situation that you're in, we're glad to have you. The purpose of the live stream that I'm planning on doing, I don't know how many times a week, but we want to look at what I'm listing on eBay as far as baseball cards, and also for those that are selling, I'll give you my philosophy of selling baseball cards on eBay, how I do it. And also, if you want to know all the things that I use to list and to ship our baseball cards on eBay, in the description just below where we have a link to our eBay store, I have a list of different items that I use. Some of them are affiliate links. So if you click on that link and go to either Amazon or eBay or whatever, and if you order it, I will receive a small commission. That helps me put out this live stream from time to time, and I'll be putting out some videos. I'm hoping of a lot of things that I use. One of the things that I use, as many of you do, if you're selling sports cards on eBay, I use Card Dealer Pro. I started about 3 or 4 months ago. I'm a Atlanta Braves fan since I was in first grade. Reason I became a Braves fan, Hank Aaron was chasing Babe Ruth to pass him as the all-time home run king. And I was in first grade back in 1974. He was a member of the Atlanta Braves, and I became a Braves fan ever since. So, and they're having a great year this year. They've got the best record in baseball, and I'm looking forward to the playoffs as September and October rolls around. But at the same time, I started collecting baseball cards. And I'll tell you, now is a whole lot different than back in 1974. We have so much of a selection of cards, whatever you're collecting. Back then, it was tops. And probably in a couple of years, it may go back to that, where tops or really Fanatics owns everything. But back then, it was basically tops. And we didn't have the internet back then. Barely had anything as far as I remember, as far as to even through mail order. It was basically going either to maybe at a grocery store or at a gas station. That's where I bought the majority of my baseball cards when I first started back in 1974. I've done it off and on up until now. I kind of got out of it as I got into college. And then I would kind of buy some packs here or there. But I started back, as I guess everybody did, around 2020, 2021. I kind of got back in and I started listing some on our eBay store. But I was having a problem. It was taking a lot of time just to list a few cards. And that was back before I knew you could get a scanner, a document scanner that would scan both cards and do it in a lot faster pace. And then uh, Car Dealer Pro is a way where you can list a whole lot faster. You can get a lot on, and I started that back probably 3 or 4 months ago. So I'm really enjoying back. I put on a lot of cards, uh, even back. I like 70's. Then, of course, I grew up in the 80's, and I was in college in the early 90's. But I like to find old cards, buy the new stuff. Lately, I've been trying to source, basically at card shows. I'm very fortunate that I live in Northwest Arkansas, where just a little bit, couple of miles out of Bentonville, Arkansas, where the Walmart's official headquarters are at. So there's a card show in Bentonville. It's about every other month. And then there's also one in Oklahoma that it's just right outside of Tulsa. Uh, that usually the month that it's not in Bentonville, it's usually in Oklahoma. So just about every month, I have card shows that I can go to, and I've been doing a lot of my sourcing there. I do a little bit of sourcing online auctions on eBay. Do that, and then I'll buy some packs, whatever I can find, but try to keep my costs down as low as I can. Now, I will tell you this, my philosophy, I'm sure everybody has a philosophy of how to price your cards on eBay. And I've watched YouTube videos from different one of you that are selling. And I'll tell you, no one way is correct, no one way is wrong. I tried it at different price points, but I found a good even kill for me is I price the majority of my cards now at $2.99 with free shipping. I'm able to make a decent profit. I do promote at 10%. So I know a lot of people don't like to promote, but I found when I don't promote, I've tried it at a lower price and not to promote, and I don't do as well. I've gone up to $2.99. I actually went up to $3.99 for a while, but I've gone back to $2.99. I don't do best offers anymore. What I do is when somebody likes a particular card, or when they are watching it, I will send them an offer. And I normally don't do where you counter offer. One of the problems when I had it, especially at a lower price, I would get, low ball offers like $1. I even got a 99-cent offer, which, as you know, you cannot make any money that way selling baseball cards if you're selling it at $1 now. Probably a couple of years ago, you could probably make a little bit, but now it's just about impossible because just your fees and what it costs to mail it, even using the eBay standard envelope program, which for 1 ounce is 63 cents. 63, and then plus your cost of your card. Then you've got a transaction fee of 30 cents. And then you've got eBay's final value fee, which even if you're like myself and you are top rated plus seller, that's around 12%. So after you add all that up and don't even count the cost of the card and your labels and all that, it's going to be over $1. So you're losing money. Of course, like many of you, I do have a coupon, which is, as you see scrolling below the video, scrolling down there, have 25% off on 6 or more baseball cards. Be sure when you're doing it not to do the buy it now, do it add to cart. And once it gets to the 6th card, then you will have the 25% off. So that is to keep in mind. Whether you are selling or whether you are buying, please be sure to look at all the cards. I've got now, I'm up to close to 4,000 individual listings, probably a total. On some of them I have different quantities. I'm over the 4,000 mark as far as total cards that I've got on eBay. Trying that is one thing. If you're selling, the more you list, the more that you will sell. And I strongly urge, if you haven't started promoting, I encourage you to do so. If you're at a price point where you're selling cards like $1.50 or below, it's probably difficult to promote that. That's why I probably encourage you to raise your prices some to allow for promoting. And that's just the regular promoting. I promote at 10%. I've tried doing 5%, but I seem to have better results at the 10% mark. But each individual seller is different. Another thing, when you're selling, first starting out, try different things, try different cards, different players to put on. And then after a couple of months, you'll see what different players' cards that you're able to sell. And to be on the lookout for those cards. Now, as far as this live stream, as in the title, I just listed some 1980s and 1990s baseball card in my store. And that's what, for the rest of the time, that's what I want to look at and kind of let you see what we have. And all of these, like I said, will be $2.99 for each card. Since they're in the 80s and 90s with the new card condition that eBay wants us to do, these I will put at excellent instead of, just about the perfect. They've got one tier above it, basically like you come out of a fresh pack of cards, which being 80s and 90s, they're not going to be that way. So I have all of these are listed as excellent. So the first card that I have, let me switch you to my, it's this one, no. Let me get to the right one. There we go. Now, the first card I want to look at is a Frank Thomas card. I'll kind of blow it up a little bit. It's a 1996 Pinnacle, card number 1, Frank Thomas from the Chicago White Sox. It is ungraded, it's excellent, and the price is $2.99. This is what the back of the card looks like. It's card number 1 of 20, Pinnacle Power, Frank Thomas. So like I said, whenever you see this, make sure if you're one on order, make sure you hit the add to cart and not the buy it now. So the next card is a Don Mattingly. It's a 1985 Fleer, number 133, Don Mattingly of the New York Yankees. It is ungraded excellent. Price is $2.99. Now the back of the card. One thing on the Fleer, as you notice, I always enjoy. I know probably kids today don't really look at these things, but I always like to look at the back of the cards, kind of find out some information about that player. And a lot of times, especially back in the 70's and 80's, they would give either questions or some facts about that particular player. So that helps you to learn a little bit something about the player that normally you might not would have known. And that's on Don Malin. The next card is a 1987 Donruss, card number 627, Kevin Brown of the Texas Rangers. This is his rookie card. Take a look at the back. See, you find out his middle name is Kevin. Then that gives the career highlights for Kevin Brown. That's card number 627. And then we have Mark McGwire. If you've been selling, you know that Mark McGwire does fairly decent. You're not going to make a lot of money on it, but Mark McGwire is, especially for me, is a pretty good bread and butter seller where you make a little bit on each card that you sell. So this is a 1987 number 366 Mark McGwire. See there, actually, they have him at third base. One of the reasons is you see on the back of the card in that he played in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm originally from the North Alabama area, and then when we were growing up, we went to see Mark McGwire and Jose Canseco. They played for Huntsville at the time. So I remember them quite well growing up. And see, Jose Canseco played first base. But then later on, Mark McGwire, as he got into the majors, he played first base, and Jose Canseco went to the outfield with the Oakland A's. Next card I want to look at is a Frank Thomas. It is a 1992 triple play. Card number GS-12, Frank Thomas of the Chicago White Sox. You see it's the Gallery of Stars, and a nice little Gallery of Stars telling about Frank Thomas. It says triple play, but as you can see down at the bottom, this is put out by the Leaf brand. And at that time, Donruss and Leaf were the same company. Later on, they would split off. Donruss, is known by Panini. And of course, Leaf is by themselves. Now, the next card is a Atlanta Braves card. It's a 1993 Upper Deck, number 281. It's a Javi Lopez of the Atlanta Braves baseball card. 299. And you see the back of the card there. Javi, when he was with the Braves, he was best known for his offense. He hit a lot of homers as his career went along with the Braves. So that is Javi Lopez. That's his 1993 card. Well, the next one we want to look at is a 1990 Fleer, number 297, Juan Gonzalez of the Texas Rangers. This is his rookie card. I have this card, and I have a few others that is listed also in our eBay store. Let's see if any. That gives a little bit of information down here about Juan Gonzalez. Okay, the next card is a Cal Ripken Jr. It's a 1986 Donruss, number 210. Cal Ripken Jr. of the Baltimore Orioles. So one thing that I remember with Cal is, of course, we know that he holds the all-time consecutive games played. Now, at the time, the two that were going for that record was, of course, Cal Ripken Jr., but Dale Murphy of the Atlanta Braves. Uh, he played. He didn't miss a lot of games, but eventually he was talking to taking a day off just for his health, for his legs. So he did that. But back in the early in the 82, 83, 84 seasons, he played every day. He made the all-star team, and he would play just about the whole game. Completely different than the way it is now. He was should be in the Hall of Fame. You know, probably if he had retired a few years sooner, probably he would be in there right now. But this is Cal Ripken's 1986 Donruss card that we have on our eBay store. Now let's go to Mike Piazza. This is a 1993 Studio number 201. It's a Mike Piazza Los Angeles Dodgers baseball card. I have it for $2.99, as all our cards that I have, the majority, are $2.99. If you're just joining us on the live stream, the link to my store is in the description section in the first paragraph, or you can go to gbestore.com and that will redirect you to our eBay store. It's gbestore.com. And remember, we have 25% off if you buy 6 or more baseball cards from our store. Be sure you use the add to cart button and not the buy it now. Once it gets to 6 cards, then the discount will take place, the 25% off. See here the Mike Piazza card that we have, and a little information on the back. Like I've said before, I enjoy looking at the back of the cards. Gives a lot of information about that player. So that is the 1993 Studio number 201 Mike Piazza. Now the next card is a 1996 Upper Deck number 463 Sterling Hitchcock of the Seattle Mariners. And there's some information on the back. It is selling in the store $2.99 with free shipping. The next card is a 1992 Topps number 78 Ivan Rodriguez. Otherwise, we call him Pudge Rodriguez of the Texas Rangers. This is his all-star rookie card. It is ungraded excellent, $2.99 with free shipping. And let's see. And that's how the back of the card looks. These are in pretty good condition, thinking that these are in the 80s and 90s. Okay, now, this is why we have Cal Ripken Sr. and Jr. This is one that the Fleer Company did back in 1985. It has a picture of father and son. And then at one time, the majority of the time, Cal Ripken Sr. was the third base coach for the Baltimore Orioles. But eventually he did become manager. So he got to manage both sons, Cal and Billy Ripken. See, I don't see what it gives a little information about their family. The last paragraph says the last father-son team in the major leagues was Jim and Mike Hegan of the Yankees in 1973. That was before Cal Jr. and Sr. So the next card that I listed today, say Derek Jeter, a 1999 Upper Deck Century Legends number 67 Derek Jeter of the New York Yankees. Let's see, the back gives a little information of Jeter, what he had done so far when this card was made. That was after so far being in the majors for 4 years. That's Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter cards does really well. The next card is a Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. cards sells really well. You're not going to get a lot of money unless you have maybe his rookie card in a PSA 10, but they do sell. This is a 1991 score card, number B3, Ken Griffey Jr. Seattle Mariners baseball card, $2.99. It's here, and it kind of gives, it says Cooperstown card. Of course, at the time he wasn't in Cooperstown, but he does become a Hall of Famer. Ken Griffey Jr., card number B3. The next card is another Kevin Brown card. It's a rookie card, number 627, Kevin Brown. See that same thing. I believe on this one, we've, as far as the listings today, I think I've got 2 of his cards. The next card we want to look at is a Tony Gwynn 1984 Donruss number 324. As we see what his real name is, Anthony Keith Gwynn. Tony Gwynn was probably one of the best single hitters of all time. If you've ever watched it, he had so many hits, he could hit just about anybody. But he had just begun. He had played 2 years when this card was made. So if you're looking for a Tony Gwynn card at a decent price, pick this one up for $2.99 with free shipping. It's a 1984 Donruss. Okay, another Cal Ripken card. It's a 1987 Topps number 16 Cal Ripken Jr. Baltimore Orioles baseball card. This is an all-star card. As you see, a 1986 All-Star Game commemorative set. This is card 16 of 22. So be sure to pick that up if you are collecting Cal Ripken Jr. baseball cards. And another Kevin Brown. This is a different one, though. It's a 1990 Leaf, number 47, Kevin Brown of the Texas Rangers baseball card. You can see what he had done in the minor leagues. And this was put out by Leaf in 1990. And the next card we want to look at is a Chipper Jones of the Atlanta Braves, 1993 Bowman, number 347, Chipper Jones, Atlanta Braves baseball card. He was the top prospect. And if you remember, if you're old enough, when Chipper first came up, he was going to start, and he got injured in spring training. He hurt, I believe it was his knee. It was actually, I believe, the same injury that he would do again later toward the end of his career. So he actually was not able to start that year, so he had to wait till 1995 when they won the World Series back in 1995. But this is a top prospect baseball card. Actually, he came up, if you remember, as a shortstop, but he played most of his career at third base, except when Vinny Castilla came back to the Braves, he played third. Chipper was willing to go to left field. But when Vinny left, he went back to third base. And that's one thing about Chipper. He was loyal to the Atlanta Braves. He was willing to take less money to stay with the Atlanta Braves. Not many players like that anymore. There are a few, but not many. So that's a 1993 Bowman Chipper Jones. Now another Ken Griffey Jr., a 1997 Donruss Preferred, number 175. Ken Griffey Jr., Seattle Mariners baseball card. It's a Donruss Preferred card, National Treasures, number 175. You see that? See the Donruss logo? That is $2.99 with free shipping. Now we have a Manny Ramirez, 1992 Upper Deck, number 63 of the Cleveland Indians, as they were called. This is his rookie card, and that is a Upper Deck. Now, as I remember, when I was growing up, it was basically tops. Fleer started back in the, I think it was back in the just about middle 1980s, maybe 84, 83. Fleer came out, Score came out, Upper Deck, then followed suit. So we had a lot of other companies that came out. But when I started back in the 1974, 75 time of buying baseball cards, it was just basically tops. So this next card, I like. We end this listing that I did today. I like this card. It's by Pacific Crown. It is a number 30 Greg Maddux of the Atlanta Braves. But if I know it's kind of hard to see, but a lot of that they're little circles, something new that you didn't see back then. And then we have a little information on Greg Maddux. On the back, it's card number 30. And then we've got Chipper Jones. Again, this is his 1991 Topps, number 333. Chipper Jones rookie baseball card, where it says in the top right-hand corner, number 1 draft pick. And one thing, if you remember, when he was about to be drafted, of course, Bobby Cox was the general manager at the time. He wasn't the manager. He was general manager. He was between Chipper Jones and I'm trying, I believe was it Todd Van Poppel, I believe was the other one. I could be wrong on that. But they was trying to decide who to go with, the position player or the pitcher. So the Braves went with Chipper Jones, and was one of the best moves that Bobby Cox did, along with some others. And he finally got to manage them when he became the manager for the Braves. Now, let's look at the back of the card. It's card number 333, Topps. That's Chipper Jones' rookie card, the number 1 draft pick. This next card it looks like it's the pitcher is Tom Glavine, but the name on the card is John Smoltz. So this is an era card, a 1990 Donruss, has John Smoltz, MVP in the background, but it's actually a picture of Tom Glavine. And of course, on the back, it's got all of John Smoltz record. Eventually, they did do a correction and put out the correct card, but this was an era card. Okay, the next card is a 1996 Upper Deck number 16 Cal Ripken Jr. Baltimore Orioles baseball cards. A lot of these cards now, like it is today, it's hard to get a good scan, especially if you've got, a lot of the chrome cards or or like in football, basketball, the prism cards, it's kind of hard to get a good scan. Usually they're not quite as dark, but I think people know what they are getting. The back of the card gives a little information on Cal Ripken Jr. So this is a 1996 Upper Deck number 16 Cal Ripken Jr. baseball card. This next card is interesting to me. It's a 1998 Topps. It's a Etch-a-Sketch with Albert Bell in the middle. Chicago White Sox baseball card. That's something unique that I don't ever remember seeing back in the day. And then on the back, uh, it's card number ES1. Albert Bell gives a little information on Albert Bell, and that's $2.99 with free shipping. The next card is a Ryan Sandberg. It's a Donruss, and it's the Diamond Kings. It's $2.99, and on the back, some information about Ryan Sandberg. These are ones that I remember growing up collecting. The next card is I believe this is one of the unique ones. Yes, this is on one side it's Alex Rodriguez, and on the back side is Edgar Renteria. It is let's see. Yeah, this is a Donruss Limited. It's number 13, as you see right there, and it's called the Counterparts. So that's a unique card there. Okay, the next card is another Ken Griffey Jr. It's a 1992 triple play, card number GS-8, Ken Griffey Jr. of the Seattle Mariners. And GS number 8, and a little information on Ken Griffey Jr. This is put out by the Leaf brand, or at that time, Donruss. Next card is a Frank Thomas. Frank Thomas sells very well for me. It's a 1991 Leaf number 281. Frank Thomas, Chicago White Sox baseball card. On the back is a little information on Frank. And the next card is another Cal Ripken Jr. Now, this card right here was hard to get a really good scan. I'll be honest with you. But I just, as you can see, it got really dark and you can barely make it out. But it's a 1994 Stadium Club team number 8 Cal Ripken Baltimore Orioles baseball card. And I'll see it a little bit better here. It's the team Stadium Club Finest, number 8 of 12. It's Cal Ripken for $2.99 with free shipping. The next card is a Kenny Lofton. Kenny Lofton spent most of his career with the Cleveland Indians, or the Cleveland Guardians as they're called now. He did play for the Braves for 1 year. The Braves played, of course, the Indians when they won the World Series back in 1985. Then, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that either the next year or a year after he played with the Braves, he didn't do as well, and he ended up, I believe, going back to the Indians. But this is his Leaf card in 1992, card number BC-4. And this is what the card looks like on the back. It is the BC-4 Series 1 Gold Leaf Rookies. And as you can see here, that he did play, a little bit, I believe, with the Astros. I didn't realize that, but in 91, and then I guess in 92, he started playing with the Cleveland Indians. That's Kenny Lofton. This is a unique card. Cal Ripken Jr. You've got on the front a picture of him playing in the infield at shortstop, and then the kind of the background of him swinging a bat. Say 1993 Flair, number 157, Cal Ripken Jr. And I believe this is put out by Fleer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Fleer Corporation. If you were to blow that up, you'd be able to see that quite well. So that is a 1993 Flair number 157 Cal Ripken Jr. baseball card. Next card is a Mike Piazza 1994 Donruss number 2 when he played for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So a little information about Mike. Basically, if you know the story about Piazza when he was drafted as a favor for Mike Piazza's father, who was good friends with manager Tom Lasorda. But he ended up being an basically all-star catcher for different teams. But he started out with the Los Angeles Dodgers under Tommy Lasorda. The next one is a card, Tony Gwynn, a 1985 Fleer, number 34. Tony Gwynn, San Diego Padres baseball card. See, it's card number 34. The next card, I believe this is another one of these cards. It's really hard to get a good scan on, but it's a 1994 Stadium Club team number 12, Frank Thomas, Chicago White Sox. Then we have a little information there. The next card is another Ken Griffey Jr. It's a 1993 Topps number 179 Ken Griffey Jr. Seattle Mariners baseball card for $2.99 with free shipping. A little information there. Ken's selection as MVP of 1992 All-Star Game established the first father-son tandem in baseball history. His father was MVP of the 1980 All-Star Game. Ken hit 2 home runs at Cleveland on June the 4th, 1992. So that's a little information about Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. And eventually they played together with the Seattle Mariners toward the end of Ken Griffey Sr.'s toward the end of his career. And here's another one of those Circle Pacific Crown baseball cards. This is a number 35 Tony Gwynn, 1994 Pacific Crown San Diego Padres baseball card. And that's some highlights from the year before with the Padres. That's Tony Gwynn. And the next card is an Andrew Jones, a 1996 Bowman number 192 Andrew Jones Atlanta Braves baseball card. And there's kind of gives his scouting report. When he came up for the Braves and did an outstanding job against the New York Yankees. I believe he hit 2 or 3 home runs in the first couple of games. Braves should have won that World Series. They started off good, but when they went to New York, they didn't do quite as well. But Andrew Jones hopefully will be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He's getting close with the votes. Hopefully, in the next few years, he will be elected. And that was Andrew Jones. The next one is, I don't remember these cards, but this is a 1999 Upper Deck Century Legends. This is a Lou Gehrig. Card number is 124 of the New York Yankees. And it kind of gives a little information about Lou Gehrig. These are $2.99 with free shipping. And we have another one, and this is of Mark McGwire, a 1999 Upper Deck number 125 Mark McGwire of the St. Louis Cardinals. Remember, McGwire started his career with the Oakland Athletics and then went to the St. Louis Cardinals. Of course, this is dating September the 8th, 1998. And on the back, some information about that event. The next card is another Mike Piazza baseball card. 1993 Upper Deck Fun Pack. Stars of Tomorrow. Mike Piazza. Number 6. And it gives a little information about Mike Piazza, where he started in the minor leagues. The next card is another one of those circle cards, a Cal Ripken Jr. by 1994 Pacific Crown, number 15. Cal Ripken Jr. And a little information of his highlights back in 1993. The next card is a Javi Lopez, 1993 Upper Deck, number 281 of the Atlanta Braves, and a little information there. And then we have another Cal Ripken Jr., a 1992 Fleer, number 20 of the Baltimore Orioles. And have a couple of paragraphs about him as the 1992 Fleer All-Stars. That's Cal Ripken Jr. And that is what I listed today. As you can see on the screen, I've got a ton more cards. I listed I broke up a 2022 factory set, and I've listed a good bit of them. We'll maybe look at those on a later live stream. So those are the cards that I've listed. Today, I'm expecting, let me go back front here where it's just me. I've got I ordered on eBay in an auction some 1975 Topps baseball cards. Went to a card show last month, and I picked up a good bit of some 1975 Topps baseball cards. I've still got some listed in my store. Be sure to check them out. Just in the search bar on eBay on my store, just type in 1975 baseball cards, and then they'll come up. So I've got them. They're at $2.99 with free shipping. Or if you can buy 6 or more, remember it's 25% off with free shipping. So be sure to check those out. When I get the new the other 1975 cards, I'm hoping to be in sometime next week. We'll kind of go over them. But we'll go just a little bit longer, but we're kind of getting close to the 1 hour mark. This is my first episode. I appreciate those that have come in on the live stream. If you are watching it on the replay, my name's Bob, as you can see on the screen, called the Baseball Card Flipper on eBay. Name of our store is GB Store. you can go to. I've got a link in the description, gbestore.com. That'll redirect you to our eBay store. So be sure to check it out. Remember the 25% off coupon of 6 or more baseball cards. Remember, when you order, don't hit the buy it now, hit add to cart, and that will take care of that. Also, in the description, I've got a list. If you're a seller of baseball cards on eBay or any other platform, I have a list of the items that I use as far as listing cards or in shipping them out. One thing about with supplies and stuff, you need to buy supplies. If you can buy it in bulk, it's a lot cheaper. And if you're selling a lot of baseball cards, you'll use it eventually. If you look in the back there on the shelf there, I've got some card saver ones. I've got a link to somebody that I believe sells on eBay. I believe the name of it is Columbia, where you can buy some. The link is in the description. I use a scanner, an Epson 402 Epson document scanner. It scans front and back at the same time. I really like it. There's some others. I think Rico has one that they bought out, the Fujitsu scanners, I believe is how you pronounce it, but they bought them out. I've heard they're really fast. I'm not quite to that point. It's a little bit more than what an Epson would cost, but I'm sure eventually I'll be upgrading to that. So if you want to go with that, I know a lot of the eBay sellers that really list a lot more than I do have gone to that. It's a lot faster. I think on one of them, I believe you can scan with the sleeve and the top loaders like that. Of course, on Epson, you can't really do that. One thing I will say about the Epson, if you do decide to get it, there's a little rolling pin on the inside, and it basically looks like this. Be sure to take that out of the printer. If you don't, it can mess up. It could leave some marks on the cards. So be sure to, if you do buy the Epson 400, and I think on the Fujitsu or the Rico, what it's called now, I believe they have something similar like this that you need to take out where it won't damage your cards. So be sure that you do that, and you'll have a whole lot less issues. I normally, since I most of my cards are not the high end, you know, I I usually scan just the card without a penny sleeve. Some penny sleeves will work fine. Some will not. Say it can tear up can mess up the sleeve, and in doing that, it can mess up your card. So be careful doing that. Or if you just not going to use your scanner, you can do it with your phone. Especially with Chrome cards, sometimes you'll get a better image than what you would on the scanner, because a lot of times scanner, unless you can change the settings to make it a lot lighter, um, sometimes a phone picture might be better off. And they take and you'd be surprised, the phone will take really good pictures, especially of the Chrome cards. So check all that out in the description. My plan for the live stream is to do different things, that kind of let you see what I'm selling in our eBay store. There are a lot of other sellers. Be sure to check them out. But I'm going to be looking at that. I'm hoping to get into how I do things, If you have any questions you'd like me to try to answer, if I don't know it, I'll try to find it. Maybe we can either do it on a live stream or make a separate video just on that topic. But that's what, and hopefully maybe to tell what I've been selling, to give you maybe an idea if you're selling, what are some of the players, what are some of the cards that do sell from time to time, and how you source. I started out when I first got back into, I would buy, a lot of boxes and rip packs, but a lot of times that's good. But if you really want to turn and make some money, if you have card shows in your area, I recommend doing that. Local card shows can be a source, but check your dollar bins. If you can get some 50-cent bins, 25 cents, look for cards there. You can do that. That's what I look at card shows. I usually don't buy them. When I first got back into it, I bought some uh, Ronald Acuna PSA 10 different cards. And at first it was doing well, but his price kept on going up and up. And I was buying some, and now the price has really gone down. For me just to get my money back, it's probably going to be a while. Hopefully, if he wins the MVP this year, maybe his prices will go up. But you got to know when to buy. But go look at the dollar boxes, the $2 boxes, and those are good ways to source. Heard that Goodwill on now, as far as going in the Goodwill stores, you're probably not going to find anything, but they do have some auctions on the Goodwill site. You just kind of have to play it by ear. Uh, if you can go where you can go pick it up, that may be a good source for you to do that. Uh, but I enjoy listing cards, and because there are people out there that are looking for particular players. One player that does really well for me is Roberto Clemente, and every year there's always inserts of Roberto Clemente in some of the Hall of Fame players, and those do really well. I sell a lot to people living in Puerto Rico. And there's one thing about that: you can use the eBay standard envelope program. I did one where I listed 6 cards in a lot, and did very well. Sent it to Puerto Rico, was still able to use the eBay standard envelope program. So this about is going to wrap up the show this evening. I'll try to. I didn't schedule this one since it's the first one, but I'll try to start scheduling. I'm not trying to decide whether morning or evening. Can't do afternoon much because my brother and I kind of do this part time, and then we also do with Walmart. We do the Spark uh, app where we go and shop for people when they place an order with Walmart for delivery. We go in and get it and deliver it to them. And I do that in the afternoons, and my dad goes with my brother in the mornings while I'm working on either listing or shipping. Of course, that's if you're selling a lot of baseball cards, that's what you do. You list and you ship. You list and you ship. If you don't enjoy baseball cards, probably not the thing to get into. Well, we're coming right up to the hour mark for this live show. Once again, remember it's 25% off when you buy 6 or more baseball cards. Now, I do have a few, not many. I'm hoping to maybe get more in, add some more football and basketball cards. I've got a few on there. I believe they should be, I believe, $2.99 each. I do have, they are including included in the coupon, the 25% off. Uh, so if you look at one of them, go ahead, add it to your cart. That is included in there. I know on my ads and stuff, I've got it just for baseball cards, but those cards are also included. So be sure to check us out. Go to gbestore.com. It'll redirect you to our eBay store. I'm hoping what I'm doing, I'm listing baseball cards every day. I'd like to try to get at least 50 listed a day. Like today, I did about 150. I had a little bit more time to be able to do that. So be sure to check us out. As far as football way it's looking, I'm curious if we're going to have football cards with all the deal with problems with Panini and Topps dealing with Fanatics. Don't know what's going to happen. So you might want to be looking for cards from previous years if they're not going to able to fulfill what they were planning on doing. So be sure to always come back to our store, eBay store, GBE store on eBay. I'm adding cards every day. And appreciate you watching. If you're, of course, I'm sure you're new to the channel. If whether you're watching it live or on the replay, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. So when I do go live, you'll get a notification that I'm going to be going live in a certain time. Hopefully, I'll try to get up a certain time that when I do it, I'm thinking about maybe in the morning doing something. Don't know if I'll do it every day or not, but I'm going to be playing it by ear since this is episode number 1. Thanks for watching the Baseball Card Flipper channel. Enjoying doing this live. Be sure to look at our eBay store for all your baseball card needs. Until next time, hope everyone has a great day and thanks for watching.